Okay, people, here we go. Debut album from Nitepunk. This is huge. Really, really excited for this one. We have 15 tracks. It totals to just over 51 minutes. How long ago was Red Turbulence now? I mean, he was operating just before that as a mostly undiscovered, lesser known gem, I would say. And that EP did wonders for kind of launching him into the bass stratosphere. That was one of my EPs of that year. Just been going from strength to strength, you know, music, collaborations, remixes, shows, touring the world, all of that. I think he moved to LA as well, so a massive thing. Guy is just making movements with one of the most identifiable and iconic sounds and aesthetics in the scene right now. So, without any further ado, people, let's get cracking on with this album, shall we? It's called Human, and we're kicking off with Grounded. Oh no, I think I have heard this one. You could just feel it. You could just feel that Nitepunk essence radiating off it already. You know what, I remember actually being not massively fond of this vocal, but it works. There's something quite playful about it that just matches the energy very well. And the flow really goes with the instrumental as well. I like this little midway point we're getting. Good to have this in the introduction. I think you do need something like this in an introduction of sorts for the most part. Oh. Oi. This is just like that opening track where you're just like, okay, yeah, now I know. If you didn't know before, this is Nitepunk's sound, and this is what he's about. The vocal is catchy, it fits with the instrumental really well, and then there's loads of sounds that are repeated really well. There's a good kind of call and response thing going on there. It's just his staple, classic, vintage sound and aesthetic stamped all over it. Very much acting as an introductory tune. Not perhaps having, compared to other tracks of his, that really standout idea in the heaviness, but just being like, yeah, this is, you know, this is what you're gonna get. This is Nitepunk. This is what I am about. And, you know, enjoy the album. This is going to be the sound that permeates this whole thing. Next up, we have Hyperdust. I love these apps. These are sensational. I don't think I've heard. I don't know if I have heard his sound before. God, my mind is jumbled. It's not slowed down, but it's not slowed down, but it's like, you know, quelled just a little bit comparatively with other tunes of his. These bits are interesting. These bits are interesting sound usage. Okay, so a bit of a one-drop wonder, or are people counting that as a drop? Feels more just like an outro, but it could be a drop. He has one of the most energized and in-your-face styles around, and that felt like a little bit more of a quelled version of his style, which was welcomed, I think. I like it. The rave stabs, fantastic. I like the crispness of the percussion that we're getting here as well. Those snares just really pointed, dagger-like. There were a couple of flat moments in there, I would say, like, what were they, wind chime kind of sounds? They were interesting. Just that little section in the middle just felt a little bit empty. Felt a little bit odd as a kind of mix of sounds. But, you know, aside from that, just quite a nice, trimly cut, relatively short for him number. And a nice way of ticking over with this introduction we're getting here, that opening couplet. But moving on, track number 3, we have, ooh, I Know That You Know, with X and G. Jean and Gasha. Mate, the drum work, the percussion is mad. That little snare. Oi! 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 What that? Fuck me, mate. Fuck me, mate. That drum work. Behave. Behave. Really liking the pacing of this one. You're just getting that vocal playing out over that outro, which is fantastic. It is catchy again. You've got a catchy little vocal once more here. The drum work, the percussion work in the heaviness is genuinely some of the best that I've heard in a long time. I was pretty floored by that, if I'm being honest. Not only the exact sound choice, but the flow of it, the momentum, how it kind of kept carrying on and carrying forward within that tune. Just good. Again, I don't think we get like a particular idea here, but it is just amazing to hear for the arrangement and the outlay of percussion for the most part that we are getting here. And yeah, the vocal works with it pretty well. Track number 4, MTV. Yeah, I have heard this one, yep. Oh mate, no. Mate, I've heard this track. I've heard this track already. I've heard it before and I'm still getting up. I've heard it. Oh mate, no, this is it. This is the one. Yeah, who is the vocalist? What is the vocal? Oh, is it a fading out situation? He loves a little fade out. He absolutely loves a little fade out. That's effectively done yet again. Maybe a little bit too long. We're getting quite a bit of silence going on here, but that is my pick so far. I had heard it before quite a few times, but still, you know, I got up. I'd heard it already. I kind of knew what was coming. Still floored me enough to get completely up out of my chair and say, well, fuck it, I can't. It's too good. The percussion again is insane. The stabs, it's just the layout, the attention to detail with the spacing out of those sounds, the flow of them, the jumpiness of it all. Vocal again, just working so well with the instrumental. Everything just kind of kicking and flying off here in a really dynamic way. And got that rave energy, bringing it back in again really effectively. Absolutely loved that. Pretty knockout tune, that one for me. That is him, I would say, completely in full flow. Flow is track number 5, another track that has been out for quite a while. Come on. Yeah, flow is absolutely what this track has. I mean, he's had it in every track, but this one in particular just got that again, that spaced out layout, just steeped in fucking soaked in that. There you go. Sound usage is very, very gnarly. Gnarly is the word. Fuck, it was at the front of my head this whole time. Oh yeah. Forgot this one. There you go. See, this one, the flow even more pronounced because of this switch up. Yeah, really rate that switch up. Top drawer. Like I mentioned, the flow is very available and apparent in all the tracks that we get from him. He's just an expert at that, but especially with that slow down, that switch down in that second drop, for that second drop, it's even more apparent and obvious and just there and readily available to enjoy. Really good. Just another pretty complete feeling cut, to be honest. Him just killing it with that track again. This next one got a little bit of a history with this one. I have to admit, when I first heard it, many of you would have been here as well. You will remember I wasn't a massive fan of this track, but I have found myself going back to it, and I have found myself enjoying it more and more. as I hear it more. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna hold my hands up. I now like this one quite a bit, and I'm very happy to be hearing it again right here. Point with Abstract, track number 6. Bam 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 bam. It's just super catchy. That little lead, that refrain. Yeah, those classic Abstract sounds just weaving their way in. Come on, mate. Initially, yeah, when I first heard it, I don't know why, but felt a little bit clunky, like something was missing. The elements that were there didn't quite function together. Like the main riff felt a little bit forced in a way. I don't know why when I first heard it, but the more I heard it, the more I've gone back to it. Now I'm enjoying it quite a lot. Just a bit of a lesson in giving as many tracks as you can that you hear multiple chances and not just going off the first listen. Not much else to say about it beyond that. It's a great house tune. Great to see him and hear him experimenting in a way with this cut. Still very much sounds like him, but going into a different format, a different structure, a different tempo, if you will. Abstract lends his own sounds and aesthetic perfectly, I think, in my opinion. I love how their sounds work together here. It really is odd that I didn't like it that much on first listen. Yeah, it just felt a little bit, there was something clunky about it. Like the riff is good, the main lead is good, the lead line that we get, but it's something about it just felt a little bit stuttered, or like it was being withheld in a kind of way. I don't know quite exactly what I thought. I have to look back at that video I made, but yeah. Now I'm like, I fully feel it. The energy, the brooding darkness of it, the savageness of it, the seismic feel of the production overall. Yeah, top stuff. I'm a massive fan. Next up we have Spider with Tyda? Ooh. Mate. The detail of that, it's like findings. It's like so much going on there. So many little touches. Fucking hell. Oh. I think no, this is my favourite of the new ones that I've heard. I've got favourites beyond this that are like, you know, ones that have been released before, but new ones for me, this one is. Oh, mate, that is. I love the detail of that, and in combination with the heaviness overall, the production. The little vocal touches that we get here from Tyda, I assume. The placement of all these sounds and all these touches is incredible. Mad stuff. Yeah, really enjoying the grittiness of that one for sure. Track number 8 is called I'm Not Yours and You're Not Mine with Yana. Mate, this percussion. Behave yourself. This is gnarly as fuck again. Every track I'm just like, yep, that is solid Nitepunk. That is just staple Nitepunk. That is just him. I think with a bit more catchiness and memorability factor than quite a few before it on this LP, that's just going to stick in your head really, isn't it? Let's be honest. Different kinds of fading out and ending that we're getting here. Oh, there's not too much to add at this point. Like I said, I am enjoying that it is just Nitepunk, classic Nitepunk after classic Nitepunk, maybe saving the house track with Abstract, which is a nice bit of experimentation. But yeah, here we're just getting the same dosage again and again, but I'm feeling it. I'm vibing with it. We're being plunged into the Nitepunk world here, and yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is good. It's just getting another dose of that again and again. And with that little catchiness, that little memorability factor about it, like I said, perhaps more so than other ones that have come before it here. But track number 9, Too Hot to Touch, which I've refrained from hearing so far because I knew it was part of the album, and I didn't go there. It's been out a few weeks, I think. So yeah, let's check it out.
I think having girlfriends is okay, but you know, we like to party, right? Guys like him, they don't like to party like we do, you know.
Oh! Fucking hell, bro. This is fat. This is fat. Right now. It's just got this real knack for having a vocal that doesn't overwhelm the instrumental in any way, really. Oh mate, just mirroring the vocal with the, it is just another slapper. I'm a fan. A bit more dubsteppy this one. It's got that more explosive kind of, slightly drawn out, not as like big on the big, you know, the dynamic between the percussion and the more hop and a skip of the breaks that we are used to from him, but it's just got more of a I think an important point to make would just be about vocals generally. They never overwhelm the tracks, just not being ill-fitted really, any of these vocals so far. They just slot in quite nicely, and that's another one. Don't think it will quite be one of my favourites maybe of the whole LP, but it won't be far off. Really won't be far off. It's just good Nitepunk energy yet again. Following that, we have track number 10, Miracle. I'm too hot to touch right now. I won't what? I won't... Miracle, I won't what? I won't suck it. Shit. Okay. Okay. We're gonna little rewind on that bad boy. I was not prepared for that. I mean, thank you guys for not, you know, ruining that in any way or spoiling it. Thank you. Oh god, that is good. Oof, that's fiery. Oh, that's fiery. Urgh. Guys, what is being said here? I won't what? Miracle, I won't suck it. What is it? What is it? What is it? Honestly, guys, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the good. I'm just gonna say, like, it's really full throttle, hitting you wave after wave of this sound. It just sounds good. It just sounds fucking good. I think because the aesthetic is so overwhelming and so striking and so clear and so identifiable and distinctive that it just kind of, it makes you forget that the guy has done like a dubstep track here, he's done trap tracks here, he's got a house track. The style is so there that it's just like, fuck up, you know, you kind of forget that, wow, okay, my guy is doing a lot here. He's trying out a lot of different things. I like that one as well. Vocal, fantastic, really pierces through the tune. I was just talking about how you know, none of the vocals here so far have felt, you know, ill-fitted or like they don't quite work within the instrumentals, their respective instrumentals, but also that they don't kind of overwhelm them in any way. And this one almost did, but in a good way, you know, really held its own within the track and was quite statement-making, quite an iconic flavour about it. Like, you're really going to remember that miracle. It's just going to really stick in your head. And that is what makes it catchy, that's what gives it its catchiness. And then you've just got that full-blown, obliterating, knocking down everything in its path heaviness, which is just fantastic as well. And some of my favourite heaviness on the LP so far, just really elevates the tune at that point, completely floored me. As you saw, I had to pause it and regather. Another big attention grabber within the LP. Huge. We now have a bit of an interlude, I think. Move ahead, number 11, and I'm gonna probably just go straight from this one into Nephilim's drama at track number 12. Okay, resetting. Okay, just a little skit there. You see, with the intros, you can just feel already that it's going to have some kind of magic about it. Hadn't even crossed my mind that he might do something a bit chill at some point. I think some of these sounds are a little bit grating, just a little bit pretty invasive on the old ear holes, I'd say. Really nice actually to get this more toned down approach from him. Still very much keeping with his style, in keeping with his style. I mean, I want to say lighter, it's still pretty savage and like intense on the ears, like I said, but it's a mood change. It's a slight mood change just to bring in this final leg here, the final few tracks, if you will. The main thing that for me was bringing it down just a little bit from the good of the experimentation. Just yeah, some of those sounds were quite invasive, quite attacking on the ears, I would say, quite stretched and high pitched. And I was like, ooh, it's really digging deep there. But then, you know, also, like I said, other good bits which are more melodic, colourful, had struck more of a harmony with the track overall, and worked better. But yeah, bottom line, fundamentally with that track, just a nice change to bring in this final few cuts, more chilled within his style, and a good little addition for track number 12 there. But moving on, track number 13, we have Sober, 2.5 minute little trim tune here. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Oh, wow. Okay, no. The variety is here. The variety is very here. This is a journey, man. This album's a journey. It's a journey through his sound. It really is. Like, just a slightly slow start to the album for me. But that's only having heard it once. Please don't take that as gospel or categorical or anything like that from me. I've only heard it once. Now, even on this first listen, getting to nearing the end here, I'm just like, I feel like I've gone on a journey with him. And there is variety, aplenty, while still maintaining and keeping the essence of his sound throughout the whole thing. I just don't know, no. That is, it's one of my favourites. It is one of my favourites. Again, another slight tonal shift here, but my god. The guy's just dipped into like some super immersive, atmospheric, low-lying, really earthy, future garagey kind of beat there, and it fucking worked. It works so well, and the placement of it here is really good. You know, maybe could have been one of the more midway cuts just to do that regathering thing of providing that breathing moment, but having it nearer the end here does work as well. That is just him doing that style well. That is as simple as I can put it really when it comes to that tune. Penultimately on this LP, okay, we're already at the penultimate cut, we have Black and Colours. This one has also been out quite a while and I have not heard it yet. I do want people to, you know, hold me to account with those playlists and be like, oh no, okay, sorry, got lost in what I was saying. Bro, I think mate, no, this is good, this album slaps, this is good. Anyone know who's doing this vocal? Another more kind of uplifting detour for the man. Yes, I must admit that second drop I thought was fine. I wasn't massively enthused about that second drop. Going down a more colourful route again. The drum work was very good. I agree with that. A nice kind of pattering feel to it. The idea was just maybe the point of it again was that classic thing that he does, which I touched on before, of like not having a really grand second drop moment and just having it almost act as an outro in itself, in how kind of more toned down and quelled it is energy wise compared with the first drop or the first half of that particular track. So I think that is kind of what we get there. It's a way of introducing the wind down with that tune, but yeah, still as a kind of focal point, as a kind of focal idea, not one of my favourites, but the first one I think was again one of my favourites. Just really took me by surprise out of nowhere. Super impactful, heavy, hard hitting, and really jagged, edgy. Just basically what his sound is very good and in a way best for, I would say. And the vocal worked with it pretty well as well. But the closer is better off. Track number 15 with Yana making a second feature. It's that percussion again, man. It's another toned down kind of number. I'm liking it. Just to end, it works for ending the LP for sure. With tracks like this one, it gives it that character that I personally prefer to see in an album. You know, not having it feel like a compilation or just a collection of tracks that someone's like thrown together. No, this feels like it has a story to it, like it has a journey, like it is considered in terms of the track list. You know, all that good stuff. Yeah, really drawing it out here. I'm liking it. Nice. Giving a moment to reflect on the LP, which I think is important if you're going down the more characterful storytelling route. Like I said, I mean, you get loads of LPs, especially from this kind of scene of music, where it just feels like banger upon banger, and it feels like a collection that is a compilation more than an album per se, that is trying to tell something and really engage you through the storytelling aspect of it. This is the opposite of that, and that outro caps it off very well. And it also caps off a little spate at the end there, final few tracks of just tunes that are showing him doing more chilled stuff, more colourful stuff with his production, with his aesthetic, which is very important, I think. Just great for him to have done that on his debut LP. You know, could have easily just gone down the banger route, had that again and again and again, but you know, clearly very much elevating his style with those little dips into the more chilled stuff, the more colourful stuff, like I said. And yeah, very good and very welcomed that he did that. And this album overall, pretty impressive, not gonna lie. I mean, I've only heard it once. There are going to be things that I think over time I can identify as maybe not working quite as much, but as a first listen run through, I mean, yeah, pretty impressive. Like I said, pretty statement making. By the time we get to the end of it, there is ample variety and still very much showcasing his sound, his aesthetic very effectively over the course of the 15 tunes that we get. The 15 cuts produced extremely well. I mean, that was kind of par for the course, but he has made tunes in the past, in my opinion, that have fallen a little bit flatter with the production overall. So here, I don't think we really get any of those moments, if I'm being honest. You know, no particular point where I was like, that feels a bit flat, doesn't quite work, I don't quite like that kind of thing. Good vocals here as well. You know, a lot of good vocal input across the LP, which is enjoyable. Maybe a couple in the second half that don't fit the instrumentals quite as well, but in that first half, or that first kind of 2/3, I mean, all of them were just like, yeah, these are really adding and contributing to the overall good within their respective tunes. When it comes to the great tunes on this LP, ones that I'd heard already and ones that had been out for a while, and then ones that I was hearing for the first time. So that's also good. There's always a risk when you write an album and drop loads of singles beforehand that all the best ones are going to have been put out already. And so people are like, well, I mean, you know, not that much of an album if all the other ones that are just coming out now, with it being an LP, just being a bit ineffective. But he's done that very well also, just spacing out a lot of the best stuff here. I could keep going on and on and on, but I'm going to leave that for reviewing it in full. Looking forward very much so to getting back into it and enjoying it more and more with the second listen, the third, the fourth, etc. So yeah, that is going to be my thoughts on that, guys. Human by Nitepunk.